Hello everybody. I'm going to use this video to explain my position that non-material reality exists, that there is a part of reality that's not material. I'm not a philosopher, I'm not a mathematician. Those people are very smart and they spend their whole lives thinking about this. I'm just a guy. I'm going to start by using some very simple geometry that we all learned in high school, like this rectangle. My whiteboard eraser here, it's a rectangle. And because it's a rectangle, one of the properties of rectangles is that parallel sides, this AB here, will equal CD in all rectangles. AB will equal CD. In this beautiful piece of wood that I keep around just because I think it's gorgeous, AB equals CD. All the time, every rectangle on the window frames, on the whiteboard frame, even on my to-do list, AB equals CD. Even on my iPod, that kind of dates me, doesn't it? Even though it's tall, it goes the tall way and has rounded corners, right? AB will equal CD. Sorry for the curve there. It doesn't matter if this rectangle is over there, or over here, or up in space. AB equals CD all the time. That's reliable. You can count on it. AB will equal CD. There are other shapes in geometry, and I'm going to use my best grandpa ever mug here that one of my grandsons gave me. And by the way, I am the best grandpa ever. Circles, right? Circles. Everybody knows circles. So we draw a circle up here. It looks like an oval. We'll put some coffee in it. And this mug gets narrower at the bottom. A handle on it. So it has two circles, 1, 2, and because it gets narrower, it's got a whole bunch of other circles here. An infinite number if my marker were thin enough, right? And one of the properties of circles is its perimeter or its circumference. I learned it as circumference, but maybe mathematicians prefer the word perimeter, so I'll use P. The perimeter equals pi d, or we could say pi 2r because this r here and r there, radius. Pi d. All circles, whether it's the control wheel on my iPod, right? All circles, or my old-fashioned watch, all circles, or my clock up there that you can't see, have this in common, that circumference equals pi d. Now, there are people who might say that we invented this and that we invented that. And I would say, no, we didn't. Those things have been around for before mankind. And if we invented it, then what have people been doing on other planets and other universes and galaxies before we came along, like 10,000 years ago, started writing those things? No, they were there waiting for us to find, much like oxygen was here waiting for us to find and discover and name and then start working with. And as a real example of that, because this mug we invented, the circle here, it's an imperfect circle because it's material, and all material things are imperfect. We invented that. And the mug will break. I will still be the best grandpa ever, but the mug will break. But this will still be here, no matter what, no matter where. But as an example of something that was definitely true, demonstratively true before humankind came along, are the orbits around the sun. So here we have the sun, here we go, sun, with photons coming out of it, which have their own mathematical relationship that they go by. And planets don't go in circles. they go in ellipses. And an ellipse is a complicated circle, but it still has a geographic center, and it still has two radii, and that would be this radii, which is A, and it has this radius, which is B. Because it's complicated, it can have a very complicated formula, much more so than that, and I can have a kind of simple formula. I'm going to use one in the middle to show the perimeter of that. And the perimeter of this, perimeter equals, of course, pi times something, times the square root of 2 times a squared plus, that's one radius, right? This is r plus r, so it's r plus r, the a radius plus the b radius squared. I'm not showing you that to teach it to you. I'm just showing it to you that that's a relationship that the planets have been doing long before we came along, long before there was amoebas on Earth. The planets have been doing this. The planets around every star in our galaxy, the planets around every star in every galaxy have been doing this relationship for a long time. Now, these relationships aren't observable. We can observe their manifestation down here. We can't hold the relationship in our hand, but we can hold their manifestations in our hand. They're not material, but we can hold the material stuff they enable us to make in our hands. They enable us to make these things, those relationships. They allow us to make various things. This is my to-do list for the day. They allow us to make paper because of an infinite number of mathematical relationships that we haven't even found yet. They allow us to create all of this stuff, and they limit what we can do with this stuff, these relationships. We can't hold them, we can't observe them, but because we can use them, I think they are real things. Scientists like, and God bless them, they like things that are observable, that are measurable. These things on their own are not. They exist as they are, and we use them to make these things that we measure and create and observe. So I think those are real. We can use them. They are tools for us to use. Now, that's why I think that non-material reality, that's this, exists. Or non-material relationships exist. That's really the brunt of the video, that this is a real thing. But then I had some speculations, and I'd like to go forward with just, I think, 3 speculations. We'll see if it's really 3 or not. And one is that I think these things might exist, perhaps, outside of space and time. Because while this exists in space, and for a short amount of time, the relationship is true everywhere. This is not everywhere. It is only in one point in space. But the relationship is everywhere. And it may be everywhere all at the same time. I think they transcend time somehow. Even though they define space, it's defining this space here. It is somehow transcending space. How about the formula for those photons, for their speed? Velocity, right? Velocity equals distance, that's space, over time. I mean, right there, you've got it. The relationships deal with time and deal with space, and yet the relationship itself is somehow outside of that. That's only one speculation. That's one speculation. My second speculation is that just like these, all these rectangles, all the rectangles in all the universe, everywhere. I got rectangles on. These are my music charts for jazz chords. All these rectangles, my harmonica case, rectangles, right? All rectangles have this thing in common. They have other things in common, but they have that in common as well. All circles, an infinite number of circles here, whether it's on my watch or on the end of my marker or on the clock up there, all circles have this in common. All planets have that in common. And I started wondering, is there something, I'm going to draw a line here, between what we live in and what helps us work with what we live in. Is there something that all of this has in common? Just like all of these have that in common. Is there something that all of these have in common? And then it dawned on me, and I've started using the word since this dawned on me, that all of those things are relationships. I don't know where that leads me, because this is a rather impersonal side to this. This is all mathematics. Everything here is mathematics. All of this is governed by mathematics. And if this is all mathematics, is there a primal mathematical relation? I don't know. I don't think so. But somehow this is here. I don't know how. It's speculation. And my third speculation is this. Allow me to draw, oh, I'm running out of room over here, another side to my, if I do this right, you'll see that it's starting to be a pyramid, not a triangle. That as this is a mathematical side of the universe, that is this a, what about people? Is there a personal side to this pyramid? This is relationship. I'll just pop another R up here for some kind of primordial foundational relationship. But down here is people. And this is me looking at you. This is one of my grandkids who gave me that coffee mug. Here's another grandkid who gave me that great big eraser over there. There's another grandchild. Likes those little squishy things I got at the hospital. These are all the people of all the world. These are people here, not their bodies, because their bodies are over here, run by mathematics, carbon, hydrogen, electrical impulses in my brain. That's all this. This is people. And I started wondering if people are here, personality is here, somehow we have an unexplained relationship at the top. What is here that builds these? Just like these allow all of that to be built and made. What is here that allows personalities to be built? What is here that builds up personalities? What's here that allows people to become people? I don't know. I don't know. But I thought I'd leave you with that. Really, though, the video is this part. That there is a part of reality. Reality is not just this. Reality also includes a non-material aspect that allows material. It includes a non-material aspect that helps us build the material. So I thought I'd leave you with that. Have a good one. We'll see you again.